So hi and welcome to this video. Today we're going to be talking about the elephant in the room, that is business brokers. Are they a necessary evil or don't we need them at all? I think everyone's aware of the cons of dealing with brokers, right? We often have, or the business owner has unrealistic expectations, not just about the price, but the terms, and that can be day one payment or how quickly they get their money, things like that. And there's less chance, or supposedly less chance, to be creative in terms of how we might pay for that business over time, in terms of day one payment and earn out and everything we can try there. So should we avoid brokers? I don't think so. I think not all brokers are equal, right? There are some very large brokerage firms that have usually unrealistic prices and generally make their money from listing fees, so we will avoid them and we will learn to avoid them. But there are a lot of smaller brokers that are generally out there looking to sell businesses, and I've seen some of my best deals have been through brokers actually. The main pro really is the business is for sale, or is 99% sure it's for sale. And if looking at deals off market, you might be speaking to an owner that hadn't thought about selling until they received that communication from you. So when you see a business listed with a broker, you know it's for sale. You know, we're not wasting anyone's time here. Another big plus is you've got a third party involved in the deal whose job is to make that deal happen. So sometimes there's there might be an impasse between the buyer and the seller. There's someone there to help negotiate. Whether one party or the other is being unreasonable, maybe they can help with that. So you've got someone else involved in the deal, and you've got a chance to build a relationship with someone that's job is to go out there and find businesses that are for sale. This is part of your network. You've got a chance to form a relationship where, certainly in my case, brokers bring me deals before they list them, or they might reach out to me and say, I know this isn't exactly what you're looking for, Jamie, but what do you think about this deal? What do you think about the pricing on this? What are the issues here? Or, they might talk about their pipeline. They might say, I've got a deal coming up. They're not signed up yet. I reckon I'll get them in about a year. Let's start talking about this deal yet. So I kind of see brokers as part of my network, my extended network. They are not to be feared. They are not to be avoided. I think they're an essential part of deal making. And ultimately some sellers only trust brokers, right? Some people will only buy a car or sell a car through a dealership, not privately. The same ultimately applies for their business. They feel that for whatever reason that might be, I'll only get the best price if I go for a broker. So if you're avoiding brokers, you're avoiding every single business owner that will only deal with a broker. If you're new to deal making, before you dive into the deep end of off-market deals, it's a chance to hone your skills. It's a chance to have guided conversations with sellers, right? It's a chance to practice what you've learned already, get used to speaking to sellers, get used to building rapport, even get used to reviewing documents of finances. And talking of documents of finances, that is something should be already be prepared for you. So the accounts, balance sheets, everything you need to be able to make an offer and potentially do your due diligence should be there and ready. An off-market deal, that won't be the case. The owner might not have all that information to hand, and in fact might be a while before you've built enough rapport that they're willing to hand that over to you. So it's packaged up, it's ready to go. So how do you work with brokers? I think it's really important that you build rapport with them. Just like a seller, you need to build rapport with a network of brokers. Explain your background, your experience, why you're interested in acquiring businesses or this particular business. Make it really relatable and concise. Be professional. Don't use a Gmail or Outlook, Yahoo address, which I see a lot. Go on one of the sites, GoDaddy, whatever, buy a domain, create an email address, be professional, create a page about what you're looking to do, and make it look professional. Don't talk about I am going to buy this type of business. It's we. Use that language. Talk about us, not I. Ensure your LinkedIn profile's up to date. It should reflect your professional brand. It should be very obvious what you do, and understand that some people, you might have a job and you can't do that. So just be aware of what your digital presence looks like when a broker looks at who you are and what you're doing. Are you sending the right message? So first impressions count. You've got to set professional tone and come across as the ultimate professional business buyer. I think when you first contact a broker, you need your own system in place. What happens after you contact a broker, right? You're going to sign an NDA, and then what? Don't wait for the broker to reach out. Respond to them, get on a call with them, explain who you are and say, these are the steps, this is what I'm looking to do, take control, run your own process. So deal structures with brokers, anything heavily future orientated, so that's a low payment on close, is going to be difficult. You have to remember how brokers get paid. Generally it comes out of that day one payment. So deals with a low initial payment, brokers can be hesitant about these, but with the right approach they can be convinced. You have to think of the broker as part of the deal. How can you make it work for them? You know, if you are going to offer a low day one payment, can you work with them that they get paid, they get their money in a certain way, or they get a bit more money, or you top it up? I don't know. There are ways to be creative. The other thing is, when you deal with a broker in terms of valuation, I think you need to be really clear on how you valued that business. You know, whether that's a multiple of EBITDA or seller's discretionary earnings or any other method. I think explain your rationale transparently, be open with them. This is how I value the business, and this is what I see the value is and why. Confidence is crucial with brokers. You need to clearly articulate how you plan to finance a deal, whether that's through personal funds, financing, or investors. You just need to convey certainty about it. You should highlight any relevant qualifications you have, any relevant experience, previous acquisition, anything you can do here to build trust. And I recommend leverage your network, you know, get introductions to brokers or sellers where possible. And remember, any deal, any broker deal especially, where they are overpriced or they are unwilling to move on terms, I'd say be prepared to walk away. Be prepared to not even offer. You know, if the valuation's completely off, be polite but firm. Be prepared to walk away, but leave the door open, because many times the market dictates the price, and it might take 2 years, 3 years, 6 months. That deal might well come back to you at more favourable terms. So yeah, that's brokers. I hope there's been some value to there. If you'd like to book a coaching call with me, there's a link in the description below. Thank you.